After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War. Now, in the year 1973, the world still lies in the heart of this frigid period. The West and East engage in proxy wars to assert dominance, while spies and agents engage in shadowy dealings. And, with the threat of nuclear war, the world always feels close to doomsday. It's as if the whole world is holding their breath, waiting for someone to make the first wrong move.
Hello, welcome back. Sorry, I'm boring you.
We opened with a yawn. Welcome back.
I did just wake up, to be fair.
No problem.
Welcome to High Energy.
Welcome back
Gaming.
to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Havoc Moon. We are
what?
one man down today. No, it's not Havoc Moon. This is Good Trouble. Fuck.
Tana, are you sure you're not tired?
All right, we're gonna restart this because I'm depressed now.
No, this is funny.
All right.
This is funny.
I guess.
You keep your finger away from that button.
You can't take this from us.
Okay, welcome back.
Step away from the console.
Welcome back to Good Trouble. Today we are sad to say.
Yeah, like I said, we're one man down. Stigma unfortunately could not be here today, but he'll be back next week. Hopefully, next week.
He did.
As if next session is going to be next week. But
he did tragically pass, but he will be better in a week.
He will be reanimated.
Yeah, we're
We
working
lost
on the
Stigma in
spells
the
as
war.
we speak. Which war? There's a lot of bad wars happening right now. I'm very nervous what side he would be on.
I don't know, pick one.
All right.
You know, I feel like Stigma being contrarian enough would...
Hold on.
Cut!
Wait.
We're not doing this. All right, new bit. We're back. How about a quick recap?
Desperately
scenario?
trying to drown out whatever bit that was.
Yeah. Whoo-wee.
But it's been a while. It's been how many? It's like 4 or 5 weeks at this point.
It's been too long.
Between cores of the anime.
It's been so long that just like Stigma, all our fans have passed away, but hopefully we can reanimate them.
Yeah, all 5 of them will soon be back.
Yeah. Anyways,
But
recap.
I'm excited. It's been a while. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here too. By your side. Recap. Gun to your head.
My head?
Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
I have no fucking idea.
So, you all went to the party. You had your encounter with the US,
Yeah.
the agents.
We killed
Didn't
the
go too well.
senator. I remember that.
You did. You executed that US senator,
He was like, well, hold on now! And Driver and Chelsea weren't having it.
and you discovered that the plans of the Better Angels to do the mysterious ritual,
It's a week
which will
away.
lead the way. It has been accelerated. It's going to take place in 7 days rather than the years you thought you maybe had.
Yeah, do we have any clue on where to find them? Didn't they like tell us where to go, or were they just like?
Well, they said
"Good
in
luck"?
7. What they did by uniting the US is they've got access to Mount Rushmore, which is where their whole thing's going to take place in 7 days.
That's
So you do know that.
right.
So the site of the final battle is going to be Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, so we're on our way. Can we get there within
No,
a day?
if you remember correctly, actually, as the session was closing last time, you had all voiced the intention to seek out new allies from the other side of the Iron Curtain, per se.
Do we have time for that with physical travel, though?
Well, you've got Sergeant O, who can make tunnels, and you've also got Antichrist, the magic train. So
Right,
it
but
is
the
possible.
tunnel, it's still an equal distance to normal, right? Or does it shorten it?
It is an equal distance, just a straight line.
So, do you know how long it takes to drive to a straight line from America?
But you also
to Russia?
have normal methods of like
Tell
your
me
planes and
how
stuff
long
that
you
runs
think it
control.
takes to drive from one side of America to the other.
Well, I'm not going to take the space.
In a modern
I'm gonna-
car, no less. Let alone a 70s car.
I don't know why we're having to drive. Where's this come from?
What other method would we take?
This plane. Well, you see, the Wright brothers, they had this marvelous invention.
Well, we know what happens when you go on a plane in JoJo. I'm willing to risk it, though.
I mean, I know you're American, so you probably haven't heard of these things, but you've seen Thomas the Tank Engine? There's a newfangled traveling machine.
Trains? Yeah, that go across the ocean?
You ever seen One Piece?
I have. I recall. I know what happened to that train as well.
We could fly a plane through Sergeant O's tunnel.
That Could be interesting.
That feels
'Cause-
unwise,
That
considering
feels like
pitch
GTA
black.
trick shot.
We like explode 50 feet in. We hit the roof.
Sargeno's tunnel is wide and big enough to fly a plane through it.
Damn. That sounds like
I
you're
don't
saying
think I
Sargeno's
wanna
been
get-
ran through.
I don't think I want to gamble on that personally.
I'm willing to take the risk, but if Jack doesn't want to, I will respect that. I think it should be unanimous if we're going to do tunnel plane.
Yeah. I mean, I also think we could just fly regularly or travel regularly, because if, our enemies are probably pretty focused on, this thing that we're trying to stop anyways, rather than shooting us down or
I'm
something
looking
like
up
that.
flight time from Texas to Russia. It'll take about a day, and then it would be another day back. So as long as we don't spend too long there, like assuming we're like right away, we'll have 4 to 5 days left after we do that.
Yeah.
They're just monitoring all the flight patterns and just shooting down every civilian plane that comes within U.S.
We can't
borders.
let them go anywhere.
That we're gonna run into Massacre Man, Tower of Grey. He's still alive.
He's like
He would be a young man, right? Because well, hold on. JoJo's happened. Part 3 happened in the 80s. This is the 70s. And
So he wouldn't be that much younger.
yeah, he'd be like middle-aged man.
He'd basically be like a newborn child. He might be too young.
He'd be, but we also know because of Part 3 that whatever would happen, he would canonically survive it.
Before the time roaches would devour the timeline.
All right, but yes, zooming in. So where are we right now?
Okay, so So you decide to go across the anchor. You taking a plane or something? Yeah.
I think a plane's a good idea. Maybe a private plane to avoid what happened with Tower of Grey. We're like, let's charter a private jet with good trouble resources.
Absolutely. Well, so you go across the ocean with your private plane. You're not accompanied by Vasilii for the moment. He does accompany you on the plane across the Berlin Wall itself, but he is also on his own mission for the time being. He's gone seeking out the location of his father, where he's gone after he has reappeared into the current modern world.
And he slept on the entire 16-hour ride, so we weren't able to talk to him, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately not. So,
I had an idea for a stand, by the way. I don't know if this is the
Okay.
time to share it.
probably not.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right. So, are we on the plane right now, or are we landing?
You let so let me go into it. So we begin again across the Berlin Wall like we did in our first session, much further this time, deep into Soviet territory, right into the heart of it. The rain is falling. Rain's falling and freezing, coming snow, and it drifts down onto the streets, onto the rooftops of Moscow itself. So it's a huge capital, millions of people living their lives here. As you've sort of infiltrated the city, and in the heart of it, you're far away from the Kremlin itself, where the actual government is. You're in this little street here, little cafe in a little street, doing its little business. Mostly empty. There's a few people here and there. So your little group sitting in the corner, 3 people, is a party by the standards of this establishment. So you've come here to seek out allies, and this is where the old contacts of Good Trouble. This is where they've led you to say that. This is where the old contacts of Good Trouble have led you, basically, to have a meeting to negotiate the circumstances of whatever alliance this is. So
who
as we
exactly are we
begin-
meeting? The KGB?
So, from what you understand, this was basically it's an organization called the Hush, which was basically the Soviet Union's equivalent to Good Trouble some time ago. They're no longer officially part of the government; they're more of an underground organization now. And these are who will be coming to meet with you.
They're like fucking boys.
Exactly. But as we open, so what are you having to drink or eat at this little cafe as you wait?
Do they have tea here?
Sure.
Drinking a nice cup of black tea.
Very nice. Very, very dignified.
Yeah, as I sip it, I raise a pinky to show everybody that I'm capable of being fancy.
The person behind the counter sort of has a little mustachio, and he sort of nods and smiles at you in recognition of your distinguishedness.
I've been training since I failed Persevius Grease's test at the Senator's Manor.
That really got you.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, Dune?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I think Bats is staring longingly at that tea, but he has his head down because he has a cold from the cold of
On
of
the plane, you encounter the stand that gives people colds.
yeah, he caught a cold from being on the plane. The temperature change. It's a
Why did they
science.
bring the cold giving stand onto an isolated plane where nobody can stay away
It was
from
like
them?
Stardust Crusade replaced the pilot.
So I have good news for you.
He's
Alka-Seltzer was created in 1931, so I get you a cup of water and I put a few tablets in there. And I say wait for it to finish fizzing and then drink that big guy.
Bats is like really defensive about the fact that his throat hurt, and he just kind of like pushes the thing away, but he still won't talk. He's basically nonverbal.
Oh my goodness, no Alka-Seltzer? It'll heal you immediately. That's how cold medicine works.
And he's like, I told you, I'm not sick.
It's just allergies.
They put microchips in it.
That's my like least favorite bit when people like insist they're not sick. It's just allergies and they're like clearly sick and get you sick.
There's like pure green snot running down his throat, his nose.
It's just the pollen count in the Soviet Union.
It's the temperature change. It's a science thing.
I reach into my suit pocket and pull out a little travel blanket and attempt to drape it around his shoulders and pat him on the back.
Oh, good thinking. That's it's gonna keep us undercover. That's good. That's good.
You lie in my face. It's like a little travel blanket with like Dora the Explorer on it, whatever the
You've
fuck.
got like fluffy earbuds.
Yeah. Oh, poor bats.
How about your driver, Dante? Driver. King.
I I think I'm having a glass of just a glass of like rum and coke while I'm waiting for the plane to arrive.
We're at the cafe now. We've arrived.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I must have been in my mind palace.
No worries.
Time roaches come. It's now a mimosa instead.
Now I'm having a rum and coke at the cafe.
Yeah, nothing has changed, really. Someone swaps out the background.
Bait used to be believable. Driver posted up with a cigarette. Yeah. So as we enjoy our little beverages, I'm kind of glancing around with my eyes, Scooby-Doo style. Do I see anyone who clearly looks like they would be a JoJo character?
Everyone seems resoundingly normal.
I'm not sure you would. I'm not sure you would be able to spot that in universe.
You know what? That's fair. I look around. Do I see anyone who's wearing sunglasses and dark suits and earpieces?
No.
All right.
No, you do not. There's an old elderly woman sipping tea by the door. She's putting sugar cubes in, and disturbingly, when you came in, you could see her putting sugar cubes in, and you've been here for a while, and she's still putting them in that cup.
You know what? What if she's the old lady from Dark Side Rainbow? What was her name?
I don't know.
Damn.
I know who you mean. I don't remember her
the
name.
booby trap lady. All right. So are other people also repeating the same shit over and over?
No.
Okay.
There's
Well,
a man reading a newspaper like by the window, and he's looking at whatever is there. He's like, oh, not good. He doesn't like the news, clearly. So you've got a little bit of time before your contact shows up here. If you have any discussions you want to make or anything you want to do in character.
so driver, you two bats. What do you guys think will happen if we don't stop this in, God, what, 6 more days?
I don't know. They're kind of vague about what their whole plan actually was.
Didn't they or the tape say something about combining humanity?
Yeah, not sure what that means.
She grips the cup tighter. She says, do you think we'll stop being who we are if they succeed?
Maybe.
The gist of it, from what I got, was, well, basically what Driver said. I don't think it's possible, but I do know if that they try it, it's probably going to kill everybody on the planet.
I just hope we can convince these guys over the wall to help, because, I mean, we're going to need everyone we can get. We've barely survived our scrapes with the better angels so far.
Well, I think that's how we need to frame it then. This is an event that concerns mass destruction rather than whatever they're actually trying to do, which I think we both all know that this is impossible.
Right.
Stands are one thing, but what mass amorphous humanity ball all living on the same planet, it doesn't work for me.
Evangelion.
That'd be one tasty meatball for a vampire.
I don't know what that is, Jack.
This group, they said their name's the Hush, right? Maybe we can get them to help us if we say it'll be really loud if this goes through.
But as if on cue, you hear the ding as the door opens to the cafe, and
Like how no one reacted to that.
It's okay. They're not all winners.
a man enters the room. He's sort of wearing a brown, like moth-bitten sweater, some dress pants. He's an older man. He's got like grey white hair tied back into a ponytail. He's got a bit of a beard going on, and a pair of thick-rimmed spectacles.
Ooh, a silver fox. I am gonna look up and lean over and be like, "Do you guys think he's the guy?"
Maybe. He's drawing a hell of a lot of attention to himself, though.
He hasn't spoken yet, so probably.
And see his eyes flick around for a second before locking onto your group, and he steps over to your table and, without a word, sort of just pulls up a chair and sits down before you all, and leans forward. You are followed.
I don't think we were.
It is no longer true. The person who was following you is no longer alive. You do not need to thank me.
Oh, good to know.
You do not need to.
Sorry, for some reason at first I thought that was Dune saying that, and I wasn't sure what he was trying to say. I didn't know what he meant.
That's what my voice sounds like.
When
It's
you're
Tan
like-
leaning up real close to the mic.
Yeah.
You never showed up, so I just started doing an impression of a sleep.
Right. Well, I'm glad if someone was following, so it was taken care of. Listen, how much do you know about what we're here for?
But probably you have run into difficulties. U.S. government no longer knows of you and no longer seeks to treat you well. It's a familiar situation. Yet it was unwise to come here. You were correct in doing so, but you were unwise.
All right. Gonna pretend you didn't call me unwise multiple times.
I did. Do not pretend. Be honest with yourself, otherwise there's no point in us speaking.
Just gonna clench a fist and be like, "Look,
I
driver.
pat Chelsea on the back. Just play along, okay? Just
We
a
are
little
sorry.
All
bit.
right, if we can.
Go ahead. Sorry."
And I look to this guy and I'm like, all right, if we could ditch the intelligence community introductions, I think what we're dealing with here is, I don't know, pretty monumental in terms of global scale. I mean, you're aware of why we're here, correct?
You seek an alliance against this group, the Better Angels. I have been told things, but I desire specifics before I am willing to commit. We should speak alone. He sort of claps his hands, and everyone else in the cafe gets up and leaves.
Oh God! It's like fucking Darby all over again. Oh no.
I paid
As the
everyone
old
with
lady is
cafe
leading, she
leave.
pulls the shutters on the door, on the windows.
Oh fuck. This guy's
Nice.
good.
Now speak freely.
I see why they call you guys the Hush.
That thing got a name?
What?
Uh,
My
you-
hand.
you-
These hands.
No, your stand.
That was not my stand.
Oh.
This is the power of financial capital, you see.
Oh.
I was fucking right. I was
Yeah.
doing a bit.
All right, let's just be blunt here. So there's this group, the Better Angels. They're made up of figures with all kinds of different powers beyond just stands. They've got vampires. They've got a Pillar Men, supposedly. They've got Hamon User, but that's not what makes them so dangerous. Their goal is they were seeking a day when all of humanity's consciousness would be linked together, at which point they would initiate some massive change. Now, that date was supposed to be many years down the line from now, but through some sort of newfound abilities or information, the timeline has come down to it'll be 6 days from now. We don't know the exact nature of what will go down, but based on our run-ins with the group and what they've done before, we know that it cannot be good and that it will affect literally every single person on the planet. We're being hindered right now by the US government, but they're a secondary priority to dealing with these guys. Now, what we're willing to offer in exchange for your assistance, because this is for the good of everyone, but I know that you aren't so unwise, as you would put it, to work purely out of the goodness of your heart. They're specifically working out of Mount Rushmore in a secret base underneath where they're going to use some sort of signal. If you can help us get in there and take care of them, I don't care what intelligence you take from the US government. I don't really give a shit about our government. I just want, people to be safe. I want my son to be safe and my friends. You can have whatever you want down there. We'll help you. But we need all the assistance we can get in terms of taking down this problem. And we know that you're a highly skilled group like ours who's experienced in intelligence operations, as you've proven to us even in our first meeting. And if there are any other terms that we need to negotiate, we're more than willing to do so.
Think about it like this.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, please go ahead.
Think about it like this. The KGB get to storm Mount Rushmore, huh?
We are not KGB.
I lean over to Bats. They split off from the Russian government, remember?
Yeah, they had a breakup.
Well, I mean, the Soviets get to storm Mount Rushmore. Think about that.
They split off from the Soviet government.
Maybe they have pride in their country.
And Bats just looks at them. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to stop talking to this guy.
Our philosophies are compatible. Like you, it is our self-appointed mission to defend humanity from that which is inhuman. It is our wish that the two factors remain separate for the foreseeable future. And if the scenario you described comes true, that is unlikely to happen.
I do sort of raise an eyebrow at what he's saying, but I don't press it.
So you're saying that you don't believe it?
I never said this.
No, he's saying that their goal is to keep human and the inhuman separate, and that if what we're describing comes to pass, that won't be the case, which is why he feel the need to step in.
Okay, so my question here is, Mr. Hush.
Please call me Nikolai.
Nikolai, I'm assuming you deal with more esoteric matters than good trouble necessarily. It's just the vibe that I'm picking up.
That is our purview, yes.
If the better angels are successful in executing their plan, then do you think that they could do what they're talking about, this whole global consciousness unification thing?
It is, of course, unprecedented, but it's difficult to say without knowing the means they would intend to use.
Fair enough.
Which brings me very nicely onto the main topic of our discussion. We decided before we arrived here that we would accept your offer of a temporary alliance. We are here in Moscow not for geographical convenience, because it will assist with the execution of that alliance.
What do you have in mind, then?
Are you familiar with an individual in the Better Angels known as Micah Jag?
Yeah, we've run into him once or twice.
It may interest you to know that he is here in the capital as well.
So, you want to dispose of him together?
I have an alternate idea. He is currently held prisoner in the Kremlin itself, at the heart of the city. I do not know why he is here or why he has been captured, but he is here and he has been captured.
So
the main obstacle, I would say right now, is lack of information on the plan we intend to stop. Who better to extract that information from than a better member of the Better Angels themselves?
Interrogation, then.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Well, Bats,
So this guy wasn't following us, was he?
Oh no, it was a different man from a different organization. He is dead now. It is of no consequence.
that works for me.
Interesting.
Bats, you have experience with torture, don't you?
I don't know why you would say that.
Who among us does not?
But yeah, I do.
I just figured as a sorry if I just figured as a mafia man you would be familiar with that. I mean, you were tortured even, weren't you?
Oh yeah,
This is
yeah. No, I'm very familiar
anti-Italian
with it.
discrimination.
Well, he specifically said he was in the mafia. We know that.
I'm very
You
familiar
did
with
go
it.
and meet his mafia. To be
Yeah,
fair.
and they did torture him.
And also, to be fair, I have carried it out as recently as about 3 months ago.
Yeah, but we don't know that, right?
I think I probably let it
Okay,
slip in the
because that was
time.
actually the initial thing I was going to
He
say.
stumbled and photos of torture fell out his pocket.
I was going to originally reference that, but I didn't know if that was like still secret from us or something.
No, he probably talked about it.
Luckily, amongst our group, we have an expert. I nod to Bats. If you can take us there, we can get to work right away. We are on a bit of a time limit here, so the sooner the better.
I fear you may have slightly misinterpreted me. When I say he is held in the Kremlin, I do not mean that he is held by us. As you understand, we are no longer part of the government, or associated, or friendly.
Look, if we have to go kill some prison guards, it's going to be super easy.
I fear you do not quite understand the import of the location we intend to infiltrate.
I gesture for him to continue.
The Kremlin is basically like, imagine if we're infiltrating the White House.
Right, but we have stando power. Unless they also have stando power.
Well,
I think it is a safe assumption, yeah.
perhaps it may not be an accurate one, however. Micah Jag himself is not a stand user.
Really? He did something to me. He threw some, like, ball, and it was rotating a lot.
This is an ability known to us, but it is not a stand. For now, the Russian government may not quite understand who they have. Guards may not have yet been properly assigned. Given our timeline, and both the 7 days and until proper understanding is established, we may not get a better chance than this.
This Kremlin you speak of, a lot of people died at the Kremlin.
It can happen. It is known.
Like, a large number of
Knives
people.
find ribs.
I have an ability that, depending on how many dead bodies are at the Kremlin, could trivialize this if we just want to rush in and grab him.
I see. What is your what do you have in mind?
Well, I can control parts of corpses, dead bodies, but more than that, if there are bodies intact within an area, I can raise them as sort of these undead servants. I could basically have them cause chaos while we slip in, grab Micah Jag, and slip out before anyone notices us. If there are enough dead bodies, that is, to use for that purpose.
There are enough dead bodies laying around the White House?
I mean, the Kremlin's a little bit shadier than there. They hold people there, and people get knifed in ribs.
Well,
That's
most
right.
of the corpses are extracted, but there may be some deep in the prison that may still be usable.
Never mind then. It probably isn't a large enough scale for that. What do you suggest is our best manner of infiltration then?
We have false identifications we can use to enter through civilian means, but once inside, we will encounter those who will not accept such identification out of hand. From that point, a stealth operation would perhaps be more advisable.
Shit, Vasilii would have been perfect for this.
See, my question is, don't you have any sort of diplomatic connections to get us in there?
Quite the
I mean,
opposite.
Yeah, you guys split off from the Russian government. Sounds like some shit went down.
This was not on good terms, I will say that, and that alone.
Okay. Well, Chelsea, I do like your idea. What about if we What about if we visited a cemetery beforehand and
Bring in
raised
a
this
truck of dead bodies like RRR.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Dan, we
Yeah,
can
well-
literally do the RRR scene with the animals boning zombies.
It
What
would
if
be
we
a simple
sta-
matter for us to secure transportation. I can arrange this.
if we staged an invasion?
Dude, we're not doing a grave robbery. We're doing a grave heist. We are making off with
We're
many
like
corpses.
sneaking around, pressed up against mausoleums with guns. It's like one Undertaker who's 80 years old with a hunchback.
It's like, it's easy. He's so old and slow. I am behind you.
If we could have this army of the dead march on the Kremlin, then I think that we could slip in because all of their attention is going to be focused on, the siege that's happening outside. It just depends on how many corpses you could control. Have you ever tested an upper limit?
Never, but I mean, when we were at, what was that prison called? The Tower prison?
Pitch Black?
Pitch Black. When we were at Pitch Black, I had dozens under my control, and I felt like I could have had more.
Right. I mean, we're talking about like hundreds.
Wait, real quick, we're in the USSR right now, right?
Yeah, you're in Moscow.
Would it be not unreasonable to call this Operation Night of the Living Red?
That's pretty good. I think that's our episode. That's our episode title right there.
There it is. I'll write that down.
That is funny.
Good. All right. Yeah. All right. So we'll hit up a cemetery or several. Load up some cars with a bunch of my servants. Bust in, have them cause chaos. Slip in, grab Mike, and slip out. And if anyone questions us on the way, we'll use your fake IDs to say that we're just like extra reinforcements that have come to help take care of the sudden invasion, because I'm sure they'll call the alarms as soon as the attack starts.
Absolutely. I will have my men prepare extraction once we're out of the building then.
Perfect. We'll meet. Where should we meet you at? What time? What coordinates?
You'll be making a sweep of the city's cemeteries, I take it. So,
Yeah.
what do you intend to launch this assault at the front gate?
I'm thinking we have someone drive them in at the front gate, drop a couple hundred undead, and then we'll sneak in through the chaos, however you see fit. Make our way down to the prison, grab Micah, make our way out the same way you came in or we came in.
I see. While you're doing this, then me and my men will begin outer infiltration. We will secure prison guard uniforms.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan.
Very well.
All right, boys, shall we get to work?
I'm thinking for maximum stalling ability, we have them literally like the corpses can like march on the Kremlin like Lord of the Rings style,
Oh, that
like
could be fun.
just a giant standing army. And maybe if you make like some sort of makeshift general, you could give like a speech and force them to, because like they're gonna be disposable and everything.
Like they walk up, a
Prolong
guy
this-
walks up to the gate in like an army suit, and they're like, "Who's there?" And they shine the light and sees a skeleton, and then there's like a bajillion
Right, and there's
skeletons.
Behind them, yeah, and they all start like
Tommy Bones!
Can I make
Clapping
them talk, Tan? I think I asked about this before.
They can release gases.
Yeah. They can do that. That's as much as like I could put a recorder on them maybe and have
And then
like
the prison guard's like, walkers!
we could record a speech with a tape recorder, put it in their pocket, and I could have them click it. That's the best I can do.
You put it in their mouth.
Yeah, put it in their mouth.
Just open the jaw up and then press the button.
Yeah, and then he reaches his finger in and the noise starts coming out. I mean, yeah, if we want to up the oomph factor. Do you want to record the speech?
I think that's a good idea.
All right. So when we execute this,
What's
Tan,
gonna look
when we like do our thing and this starts, I would like to hear Dune's speech that he recorded.
I think Super Deep was a historical drama in this universe.
So I love guys. Good Trouble is so back. All right.
Right, okay. So, to recap then, you're going to be like in a truck, making like a road trip around the city to all the cemeteries.
Yeah, basically like big ass cargo trucks, RRR style, loaded up with like dozens, hundreds of zombies and skeletons. Ideally,
The
with
greatest
guns,
act of grave robbing in living history.
if they've got weapons, I doubt we could arm them all with guns and
I
bullets.
told you this is a grave heist.
I doubt we could arm them all with guns and bullets, but if we get like some knives or blades or even just like shit that they can like attack people with, it might be helpful.
Okay, well, if you can tell me where you would get those, I can see if that would work.
Well, there's rocks and sticks all over the ground.
Okay.
We start attacking all the gangsters in
Yeah.
Russia.
Also, I imagine maybe if we go to like a military cemetery, some people would have been buried with like ceremonial swords or whatever the fuck.
Okay, I'll allow that.
We don't have to say that
We
every
go,
single
we
one
go
has a
over to
sword.
the. Oh my god, we can take the enshrined body of Lenin.
We could raise Lenin could be our general. Who says he should
Must
be?
destroy capitalism.
I'll allow it if you want to, but that's gonna. I will tell you that will raise the alarms early if Lenin suddenly punches his way out of his glass casing.
He'll be the last one we take.
It's like they're like the guards, like when you see the army, like you are all weak zombies. Who do we have to fear from you? And it goes over to the glass case, his eyes snap open. It's like we have a Lenin.
Oh.
That's good, Jack. That's good.
We are cooking right now.
I think he should be the speech giver.
Yeah. If we can go to like specifically like war memorial graves, they might at least have some semblance of their uniforms and weapons if we're lucky, compared to just like civilian grave sites.
Right, they're sometimes buried with like ceremonial stuff.
I think we're literally like the evil necromancer in like a fantasy story.
Chelsea,
Like,
Chelsea the Lich Queen.
king.
My fuck.
This is development, because if you remember at the beginning of the series, Chelsea was like, "Ooh, I feel so bad about taking corpses buried in cemeteries."
Now she's doing the Thanos thing.
Right.
She's gotten used to it. How many times have we done this now? We've raided a couple cemeteries.
This is probably
Like
your
Dark Side
greatest
and his
act of
parademons
necromancy.
right
It's actually
now.
super easy for me because she used to run a cemetery, so she kind of knows how they set up, at least in the West anyway. Maybe it's different over here.
Yeah, they all show one grave here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. That makes it easy. Alright. Yeah, let's do it. Do we want to roleplay this
Okay.
out, or are we going to fast travel?
Well,
to-
that's entirely up to you how you want to do this.
I think we should fast travel the normal gathering, and then maybe we can roleplay out getting Lenin in the actual
Okay.
attack.
So as your trucks finally pull up let me just get that historical information, because I didn't have this to hand, because I didn't expect this to turn into let's. So Lenin's mausoleum you arrive outside at. It's the final resting place of the Soviet leader Vladimir Lenin.
Mhm.
And his preserved body, of course, is on public display.
Oh, it's preserved, so he'll be fully intact as the general.
Yeah.
You'll be our
Perfect.
strongest zombie yet.
Yeah, and he'll maybe he can be like, I've had enough of the way things.
It
are being
almost
run
looks
here."
like he's just lying down in the bed, to be honest.
Oh, that's beautiful. Let's raise him.
Just imagine like leaning down, it's like, time to wake up.
His eyes glow green. Wait, since he's still intact, can he talk?
Sure.
He's still got a tongue.
But you can make him say things.
Perfect.
He has no outside
I'm
consciousness.
still gonna let Dune or Jack say what he says, but that's perfect. We don't have to do the tape recorder.
And there are people here viewing the corpse, of course, even as you pulled up outside of your trucks of, like, curiously heavy lorries.
I shoot. What I'll do is I'll release a couple zombies to like scare people off, so we can grab Lenin, and then we'll grab Lenin and go back in.
Dude, we're causing an apocalypse.
Trust me, the zombie
Yeah.
media that's going to come out
Neil.
of Russia in the next 10 years is going to be amazing.
Neil, I assure you, resurrecting Lenin was absolutely vital for the Alliance.
Yeah, so what it's going to look like is all these zombies and skeletons, right? And I can raise from like 15 feet away, or 15 meters rather. So
I genuinely love that we have shed off any sort of pretense of being a spy drama, and we are like fully supervillains at
So
this
I'm
point.
I'm
You're
outside.
it's the spy drama, but you're the villain.
Chelsea's in like a bush outside this building, right? And the people inside see like maybe a dozen skeletons, soldiers all come in, rah, rah, freak him out, and then they all kneel in front of Lenin, and then Lenin rises from his glass cave, and his glass
His body
cage.
curiously, like, even though he's very stiff, and a lot of chemicals have gone into Lennon over the years.
Yeah, so he moves like the GIF Jack posted.
Yeah. As he's like leaving, he puts a handprint against the wall to like support himself, and when the hand moves away, the print is like smoking acidically.
He's powerful.
he's that hazardous. Let's say.
All right, boys. I think we're ready.
This is where Teng reveals that Lennon is like an alien in Teng-verse lore.
Lennon has poison ivy's like.
So, I guess we'll figure this out in like 6 campaigns.
All right, let's do this. We ready for Operation Night of the Living Red?
Absolutely.
Right.
It's in late afternoon, in front of the Kremlin, the massive gates, the square before it. People in the Red Square are sort of moving back and forth on the day. Soldiers doing marches, patrols, guards, and then a fuck ton of trucks pull up in the middle of the day. You can see that a prearranged signal, a little bit red strip of cloth, is like one of the far gates where apparently Nikolai had secured some guard uniforms for you to get after this initial assault.
Nice.
A guard approaches the lead truck. He seems that he thinks there's some sort of shipment, and he sort of walks up to the front carriage. He's like, "Please show me your identification."
So there's like a guy driving, right? And he's got a trucker cap on that obscures the top half of his face. And he lifts it off and turns his head, and it's Lennon. And what does Lennon say, Jack and or Dune?
No, I just imagine him. It's just like he's like, "Are you deaf? You'd not hear me."
What this guy say again?
He's saying, "What is your business here? Are you deaf? Can you not hear me?" And then dead Lennon takes off his trucker cap, reveals his face. What does he say?
I am here because it is my right.
What the fuck? He looks like he is caught between responses. He goes to reach for his gun, realizes I can't shoot him, he's Lennon. Looks back to the other guards, realizes, I have to do something, I can't just run away. And then looks back to the truck and like pulls out some handcuffs to like cut the difference.
And I like to imagine, like, after Lennon says that, the trucks, like, open up to reveal the hordes of zombies inside.
And Lennon would stand on top of the car and he would go, "The age of the red is over. The time of the dead has come." And then he pushes he takes his ceremonial sword and raises it on top of the truck as the skeletons charge the gates.
It's time to seize the means of the living.
The guard looks like he's gonna like go after Lennon to handcuff him until the tide of corpses washes over him, subsuming him entirely.
Me when I'm playing Dwarf Fortress.
And worse, every time a guard dies, they're risen to join Lennon's horde. So it's like an infection.
This might actually end the world, I'm gonna say.
Don't worry, the horde can only
Maybe
exist
that senator was right.
This horde can only exist within 15 meters of me. Alright, so I guess as that happens, we are up with Nikolai in our guard uniforms, right?
Yeah, the Red Square. Yeah, you're making your way over to the gate. The Red Square's alight with the sound of gunfire as well now, and screaming.
Bullets can't hurt the dead, you fool!
The guard like unloads an assault rifle's worth of like bullets directly to Lennon's chest and does not stop. And he like turns to his friend. He's like, "Bullets don't work."
Lennon grabs the barrel and bends it at a 90-degree angle, like fucking
He's like,
Bugs
"Run,
Bunny.
Gregory!"
The song from Scooby-Doo Zombie Island starts playing Terror Time.
Fuck yes. Alright. So?
And Nikolai is saying it is interesting what you have done as he hands you the guard uniforms.
Thanks. I tried my best. I couldn't have done it without my friends, who I each
You will want to be careful with that one. There is some blood under the collar.
Ooh. Gonna wipe that.
It was unavoidable.
It happens. Nikolai, believe it or not, you and I have a lot in common, buddy. And I'm gonna slip on my uniform.
Like what?
Like, I also don't care about killing people when it's necessary.
I do care, but sometimes we must put our feelings aside for the greater good.
Exactly.
But I care deeply.
Ooh. Now you got me feeling kind of
You must never forget that you are a moral agent as a human.
Uh, Chelsea feels a little bad. Right.
Driver pats Chelsea on the back. It's all right.
Every kill, I feel really bad about thinking about smashing the fish. This sheer glee.
Violent dreams, and you think that's the entire campaign thus far.
It's like that meme of the soldier, like 1,000 yards staring.
Yeah. It's more like you thinking, oh, I should be fast.
Driver, quick, remind me of everyone who I killed.
Opens up a really long scroll. All right, let's move.
Do you think Lennon is wearing a like bone armor right now? Like some of the dead
I've given him like Lich. He has Lich King ass armor on right now.
He's like standing like at like a
we have turned Lennon into Skeletor, but like Skeletor is a puppet for an even bigger villain now.
Is there a limit to your control of these creatures? He says as you're making your way into the Kremlin.
As long as they're within 15 meters of me, I can command them to do anything. After that, they act independently, which means they'll follow the last order I gave them, and once that's complete, they'll just stand there.
So, but if we leave their range, they will not suddenly fall. Is what you're saying?
Well, that's up to you as the DM, Tan. What do you think?
Well, I guess the prison's like underground, so there might be a point when you get further down and they just suddenly all drop at once.
If I get too far down, there is a possibility they could drop. Normally, they would just kind of stand until given orders, but I've never tried to control this many. So what might be best is once we get to the prison, I can wait up top while the rest of you go down and sort of keep the horde going, and you can bring him up.
This sounds acceptable. Very well, and sort of as you're going through the hallways, there's people panicking, soldiers running back to and fro as well, with reports and whatnot. But also people in suits, people who were not expecting this today.
The uprising.
One guy who's like a civil servant, he's took off like the suit jacket, he's like rigged off his ties, like whooping around, he's like, "The end has come!"
He's like, so happy.
The apocalypse has come. So he's just
let
go.
With the cadence of a Disco Elysium character.
He said it's like he's in Zom 100 and he's about to live
exactly. That's what you think has happened.
Like
he's like, "Fuck you!"
I hate this job and my boss.
I never liked communism.
He sounds like fucking Egghead from Disco Elysium.
Wait, which one's Egghead again?
He's the disco guy, or the guy doing the beats at the Disco Elysium.
Amazing. All right, yeah. So let's do this.
The end has come, yeah.
Let's head off to that prison.
Hardcore.
Very well. And he skids to a halt, a little past the Zom 100 guy. And there's it looks like a janitor's closet, but as he opens it, you see that inside, instead of a janitor's closet, there's a set of stairs leading downwards. This is the prison for inconvenient prisoners. Right now, only Jag is held here, so this should be relatively easy, but do not let your guard down.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
Jesse, you'll be waiting up here, I believe.
Yes, you guys take care. If anything comes up, just page 3 times on the beeper and I'll come down with a couple undead if needed.
Very well. Good luck to us all.
Aye.
Yep.
Good luck out there. And while they're doing real work, I'm going to have fun making Lennon say stupid shit.
Like what?
Just know that's happening in the background. I don't want to take up too much time, but
Okay.
I'm just going to have him say shit like, "I will rule as the undead lord of this land. I'm seizing the
I'm starting to
means
think
of the
Chelsea
living."
grew up on like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah. Finally, capitalism is truly in the hands of the people, the dead. Shit like that.
Right, okay. So the rest of you then, Bats, Dante, Driver, and Nikolai, make your way down this long staircase. The stairwell basically becomes very dark. There's light bulbs here to light it up, but some of them are flickering. This is not a place well maintained, obviously. This is where you throw people and ideally forget about them. There should be guards here. There's something wrong. Hmm. His sort of eyes are flicking around the floor as you said. He's like looking for bloodstains or something. Clearly, as I said, it is only him here, but be cautious. Yes.
Yeah.
Finally reached the bottom of the stairwell, beyond which is a hallway sort of lined with cells, most of which are empty, except for the last one on the left, where you can see a guy in a prison uniform, like huddled in a corner, head in his hands.
Micah Jag?
There's no response. The guy just sort of trembles.
The fuck did they do to him?
It is Russia. These things happen.
No, fair enough.
Is there a key anywhere? Is there a guard with a ring of keys? These things are usually accessible. Of course, I also have a skeleton key of my own, and he pulls out a silence pistol. Any objections? He says as he sort of points it towards the lock.
Go ahead.
So the sound of the lock breaking is actually louder than the sound of the gun firing, and the door sort of swings open. So in the room, there's a bed, there's like a locker for clothing, presumably it's open and empty, and there's a toilet that's sort of connected to the wall, and maybe it has once seen better days, but you can no longer see any sign of those better days in it. And the guy in the corner, of course. Well, I suppose we secure him for extraction then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. How are we going to do this?
Can I just knock the guy out and carry him over my shoulder?
Absolutely, you can. You were born free.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
I
Okay.
think Bats is gonna let Driver do that, and as he has him over his shoulder, he's gonna turn him into a ball and slip him into his pocket and just smile and walk ahead of the group.
Okay, so I just want to say though, so you knock him unconscious very easily with just a thump, but as you sling him over your shoulder, and as Bat specifically, you get a good look at his face. This doesn't it's not that it doesn't look like Micah Jag. It doesn't look like any sort of human face because the features are contorted into sort of a spiral, so that his lip is just this line running into his nose, running into his like squeezed shut eyelids in the center of his face. It's like someone took his face and just twisted it.
Do I feel anything weird when he's in ball form?
No, you don't.
Well, I guess that this is a problem for when we bring him back to a place where we can safely.
So
I
don't feel
think this is a problem now, actually.
So as you are sort of seeing this, and as you're turning him into a ball, I need you to roll me something, Bats.
Okay.
So I would like you to roll me a. Give me a second. It's getting the. I'm looking for one that's like predict because I've not done this in a while. Impulse. Give me an impulse, a wit and pluck roll, and that will be against a stealth roll.
Okay.
So please roll thy wit and thy pluck. Whenever you're ready.
I rolled.
Where?
The rolls channel.
I'm not seeing it. Is anyone else seen it?
I'll check real quick. I see a roll. Hang on.
Oh, it's not showing up for me. I don't know why.
He got a 22. That's 3,
22.
2, 1, 4, 6, 1. So 1 success.
Okay, and this is the stealth roll. Oh, Christ.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Bats loses.
Yeah, his brash decision making got the best of him here.
So what is the difference on that? Let me just have a look.
It's more than 3. It's like 4 or 5 higher. Let's see. The other guy got 5 successes to Bat's 1, so 4
Yes,
successes
it's 4.
higher.
And this was an attack, I'll now let you know. So, Bats, as you are turning this guy into a ball, out the corner of your eye, you see a shape suddenly shoot out from under the bed of a guy in a prison in a guard uniform. And as he's shooting out the bed, you see him hurl like this sphere towards you, this little ball, and it slams into your back. And you can feel it twisting and rotating there until there's a hollow click, and suddenly you find yourself falling down to the ground, your legs unresponsive to your thoughts.
You said he's not in ball form anymore, too.
Well, that guy's still in ball form.
Okay.
But you can see, Driver. You see this clearly though, as that guy shoots out and sneak
I should
attacks
hope
Bats.
so.
Yeah, and you see that the guy who shot out from the bed, his face is very much recognizable as Micah Jack's, but he's wearing a guard uniform.
Oh, he
And
tricked us by spitting a boy's face up. Oh, fuck.
So at this point, things will be rolled, of course. Not an issue because we don't do that here. But who wants to go first, basically?
Is Nikolai fighting or just our...
Nikolai is also fighting.
So I assume it'd be Dune or Jack, then enemy, then the other, then Nikolai.
Yeah,
last.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, since Bats has taken that sneak attack.
No.
Press F to Bats.
Oh, that's a baseball!
Oh, that's a baseball.
I imagine there's a point in the spin process where like your back feels better than it ever has before it's like excruciating.
Yeah, then it goes across the buffer overflow.
We've fought this guy before, right?
Yes. He
Briefly,
fought me.
yeah.
He like tried to throw spin balls at me while I was dealing with the guy who kept like exploding the area around him, and then he ran away.
Okay, so in this second of confusion, well, no second of confusion, because he just did his thing, so it's Driver's turn.
Alright.
So you've just seen Bats go down in front of you with a very horrible sort of sound that was not good.
I would just want to say it's very funny to see Bats go down like that after being smug. But
Was he smug?
Poor Bats.
he was being.
I was
like,
trying. Yeah, I was trying.
Yeah,
to
he
own
was
the
being
driver.
pretty smug.
He got polarized.
I just after watching this surprise attack knock Bats to the floor, I immediately look to Micah Jag, and upon recognizing his face, say, he pulled one on us.
It seems so, says Nikolai. He sort of flicks the safety off his silence pistol as he's pointing it towards Micah as well.
We can amend this, though. And I summon proto-men around myself is in, like, the body armor form. And I start... I can't really think of anything cool to do right now, but I guess I'll just fire, like, Mega Man blasts at him.
Okay, so
Yeah.
So what he's going to do? It seems like he's fashioned he's like these things are like fashioned spheres that he's got. Like you notice there are bits missing from the walls, like brickwork, and some of the bars are gone. So it's like he's just like crafted these himself, basically. So he's got a couple of these, and as your blaster incoming, he's going to hold up his sphere, like spin it again in his hand, and try and like repel and parry your shots with it. So he's going for a parry here, basically.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, what were you rolling there? Was that strike or?
I was rolling the usual power and precision for my shot.
No. Okay, so so strike, yeah. And he's going to try and parry then. So he's going to use his wit and durability. Or in this case, sturdiness, because he's a spin user. Yeah, you've got that. So yeah, he managed like ding ding 1 or 2, but a third one like catches him in the side and sends like sprawling down a little bit as he takes a hit from you. Ah. So who are you lot then? They send you to finish me off?
On the contrary, we're just here to ask you some questions. But we can finish you off if you'd like.
Which one sent you? Genesis or... Oh, you're those good trouble fucks.
Yep.
Took you a while to recognize us, huh?
I don't pay attention to the faces of vermin. Sue me.
Hey, if I
think
remember
you'll want to
correctly,
pay attention soon enough.
didn't you and Driver have a pretty good conversation a while back?
We may have met. What did you... So you're here for interrogation, I take it?
Ah, you told me you guys shared a cigarette together, that's all.
I share cigarettes with many people. It's a social drug.
This does feel like a part 8 bit, I'm going to say. I enjoyed that a lot.
But he sort of winces, he sort of half picks himself and like stops the sphere in his hand momentarily. This could be fortuitous. You see, I myself am in need of protection right now. Perhaps we could come to some sort of arrangement.
I raised an eyebrow at that.
Who was on the floor, if we recall?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still on the floor.
Your friend, I'm afraid I may have meddled with his spine somewhat, but it's nothing I couldn't fix if you were to consider my conditions.
And what are those?
Safe passage out of the city, out of the country, if possible, and away from the unkind eyes of my former comrades.
I looked at Nikolai.
There's no harm in talk, but if he tries anything else, I will shoot him in the head.
All we want is information about the Better Angels. I don't really care what happens to you.
Of course, and I have so much information to give. You see, you may have surmised, but I've recently left their company on less than stellar circumstances.
And what was that about?
Well, I'm sure we could discuss it further once we're outside of the secret death prison of the USSR.
Fair enough.
You may as well leave that young man in the bar, by the way. He was a guard. I thought I'd simply meddled with his face a little bit when I was taking his uniform. And then you came in. What a coincidence.
Guessing you took advantage of the chaos up top.
Why, that is my modus operandi, as it were.
Smart.
Thank you.
All right, we've got the target. Let's hurry up and get out of here.
Thank you very much. And as promised, I will, of course, repair the damage to your friend's back and allow him to use his lovely legs again. As he says that, he sort of approaches you, Bats, with his ball, with his sphere. Will you allow this?
He's hesitant, but he does allow it.
He presses it to your back, and it's almost like the sensation just felt in reverse until you hear it, and your legs, almost like appliances that are just being plugged back in, are responsive to you once more.
Do they feel good?
They feel very good.
Hey, that feels good.
Yes, please don't crow on about it.
You got anything you could do for my throat?
Your throat?
Yeah, I kind of have a cold or something. Allergies, you know.
I can certainly try. And he sort of presses the spinning sphere against your throat.
Cures Dune in real life.
Is that good?
No, unfortunately, it did not cure me in real life. Batch just shakes his head no.
I guess you're not as good at the spin as you thought you were, Micah.
It didn't do anything.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm afraid. I apologize that I wasn't able to cure the common cold for you.
I can literally twist and bend your body into unholy shapes, but I cannot beat the common cold. It's too strong.
We've landed
it's
on
okay.
the moon and we haven't beaten the common cold.
It's true.
It's all right. I'll get you back later. I have a few questions about this whole spin thing.
Of course. Now, if it's not too much trouble, I'm sure we can. Oh, fuck! And he says that you can hear the sound of boots moving closer.
I'm sorry, what moving closer?
Boots, like boot steps.
Okay.
It seems as if somewhere else in this little underground prison complex, guards are finally responding to whatever has happened down here.
So I'm like at the door of the prison, right?
So you're on like the stairway between the Kremlin proper and this underground prison.
Yeah, so I'm gonna guard this place off. So all they have to deal with is whoever's already in the prison, I'm hoping.
Okay, so these boot steps, you're the one who encounters them then, Chelsea, as two guards come and they look at you. Who are you? What are you doing here?
I flash my fake ID that Nikolai gave us, and I said, reinforcements for your... And I look over to the horde of dead. I say, I'm supposed to be guarding the prison, make sure none of the prisoners escape in the chaos. No one else is welcome inside right now, not until the threat's dealt with.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if you can sell this to them. Yeah, bamboozle them. And let me get the DC table up here as well. Give me a 2. Give me a 2.
Wit and menacing. Let's see what those are for me. My wit is 5, and my menacing is 3. Okay, I can do that. 8d6. That is 2 successes.
So they look at each other and they go, typical. We have George Romero outside and they have us guarding prisons. Do not leave your post. And they sort of march off to continue their fight.
I give him a salute.
Okay, and as you're doing that, from behind you, your companions emerge from the underground prison.
Oh, sorry guys, a couple jobbers came by, but I spooked them.
Why, hello!
You?
Yes, it seems I've turned coat, as it were. Stellar.
Okay, hold on. Wasn't there another better angel that turned coat? The serpent guy, what was his name? The Leviathan?
Let me get him up here.
Keela Koalanth.
Yeah, go
You
on.
guys have a terrible turnover rate. There's some fucked up shit going on.
Well, I'd be ever so happy to discuss it with you once I'm safely out of the city.
Oh, don't worry.
Chelsea.
No one's going to be able to stop us. There's an army of the undead. Yeah?
Chelsea,
What now?
if it's not too much strain, I want you to keep an eye on Micah Jag. You know him better than the rest of us.
I snap my fingers, and like 2 particularly large skeletons with beefy rib cages come out and grab him by either arm. If you will allow that, Tan, they'll like grab him by either arm and like carry him out with us. So
We're
treating him like a
Looney Tunes character.
yeah.
Look at Chelsea right now.
Hold on. I'm going to kill you. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. I pushed you to the ground. You were held there by 2 surly Oompa-Loompas. Yeah. What am I
There's
thinking?
no need for this. Do you really think they won't notice these 2 skeletal fellows holding me?
They're a little
I mean,
preoccupied right now.
I'm in disguise. There's no need for this.
Well, I can't have you throwing any funky spinning balls at us, so... Unless
Well,
you...
how about this? A gesture of good faith. I'll give you my balls. Not like that, of course. But for my spears, I'll let you have them.
Yeah, give them to me right now.
He sort of extends hands holding metal spheres.
Mm-hmm. I take the metal spheres...
And nothing else.
And I hand them to Bats to ballify and take care of, because he's good with balls.
I don't think he has to ballify the spheres.
Yeah, I could just,
The work's done for him.
Hold these for me, because you're my friend then.
Hold these balls.
I hold the balls.
Also, you seem the most interested in the spin, so maybe you can practice. I don't know. The balls are yours.
Oh, you have an interest in my craft, eh? Well, once I'm out at sea, perhaps I'll be willing to tutor you in my discipline.
When the world's not ending.
The reasons for saving my life grow ever more numerous.
I'm gonna let the skeletons set him down. I go, all right, follow us. Nikolai, you lead the way.
Absolutely.
Bats is currently just mindlessly rotating the balls. Because if you remember correctly, we did use some sort of like baby spin to take down the what was it called? Who's the Godzilla one?
It was the vampire lady. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember,
I remember.
like that's had like a moment where he was able to rotate and use it to rack its nervous system and everything.
All right, yeah, because that would be cool if Bats does unlock that. So I guess, yeah, we'll just go out the way we came in then, Tan, while the army does its thing, if that's possible.
Absolutely. So a truck has been prepared like near the back of the complex, like at that far gate, away from like the main Lord of the Rings battle, where heroes and are on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
There are heroes on both sides.
Yeah.
And
You let everyone Tan thinks there's heroes in the Soviet Union.
and there's a truck there. As you approach the truck, however, some of the guards that are fighting like look back at you as you're all climbing the truck. They're like, "What are you doing, you cowards?
We're
We need help!"
Don't worry, we're going to
Don't
get
worry,
more
you've got it handled. I shut the truck door.
As we get ready to leave, I have Lenin give one final speech. What is Lenin's parting words to the Kremlin after what they've done here today, guys?
We leave you broken in despair, knowing that we shall soon return.
And if you ever try any funny business with the nukes again, we'll come back. And they all drop into a pile
I
of
love how
bones.
the great terror is they sort of made trouble at the gates for like 20 minutes.
You act like hundreds
I
of
mean,
skeletons.
that is horrifying, Tan.
Yeah,
It was like, we'll come back and do this again.
Yeah, you trouble to get. They probably killed people and then rose them amongst themselves.
People's
Dude,
lives
there's
aren't
probably
worth
a
that much.
massacre in the Kremlin. We were in here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's their parting words: is if you keep messing with nukes, we're gonna come back. This is all because of Chernobyl or something, and then they fall apart.
You blame them for the accident they suffered?
This is all because you're pursuing nuclear arms.
Cuban Missile Crisis. There you go.
There you go. It's all because of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Don't do it again. And
You're trying to make an alternate universe right now.
I'm trying to make a better world.
Chernobyl was all your fault.
Wait, has that even happened yet?
I think it's in the 80s.
Can we prevent Chernobyl?
We should be, yeah.
Whatever
this
you
might
do when
prevent
you're
it.
working with nuclear
Yeah,
energy, be
Chernobyl
really
is.
careful about it.
Chernobyl's like.
Lenin's saying a lot of shit
12
right
years
now.
Yeah. Anyway, Lenin falls apart, and so do all
I
the
like to imagine he
zombies.
says all these things one after the other.
Yeah, and then they all fall apart. So we leave.
They fall apart like little Lego men.
Yeah. Just disparate bones and skin and flesh, except for Lenin. He's intact.
Right.
Now here's
I
answer.
don't think they can keep him enshrined anymore.
I was gonna say, yeah. Here's my question, Tan. After that, does Lenin still have the honor of being enshrined, or are they gonna burn him to death?
I think they have to seal him in a vault.
We'll have to see.
It's gonna be like the corpse parts of Jesus Christ, where they separate the parts of
Collecting
Lenin.
the parts of
Imagine
Lenin.
Chelsea encountering the corpse parts.
Oh my God! Whoa, that could be insane. Get punched with Jesus's fist. Oh man! All right, yeah, we're on our way out.
And your truck drives off into the sunset. We temporarily fade to black. Session's not over, of course. And when we fade back in, we're on the outskirts of Moscow. It's much later in the evening now. And you've secured... You're in like a warehouse, basically, that's a temporary operating base for your activities here. And Mike Jack, of course, has been tied to a chair, as is customary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, there's no need for this. Come on, loosen my hands. Come on now.
Look, we just need you to answer some questions. I promise we'll hold up our end of the deal. We just need to but we don't quite yet trust you to hold up yours.
Absolutely.
And to be fair, we did plan on torturing you, but I think that's a little bit unnecessary now.
Why don't you start by telling us what happened between you and the Better Angels?
Well, you see, I was always... It would be a bit of an exaggeration for us to say I was part of the Better Angels. I was affiliated, let's be honest.
Okay.
I was a mild associate of them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you were at the big...
Whatever you say.
You were at the big important Soviet general's house and protecting like their wound project. So I don't know about that.
Wasn't he also at the media company?
Yeah, you've been like everywhere, dude.
He was kind of like everywhere. With
I was a trusted associate, okay?
So how did you come to
But,
be associated with the Better Angels, and why did you agree to work with them?
well, you see, I was previously part of MI6. I worked in Britain
He's
for
British.
my nation. I've been speaking with a British accent this entire time. I would have thought it obvious.
Tan's never been
you
good at a
always
British
speak
accent.
with a British
Yeah,
accent.
Yeah, but I'm speaking with a posh
You
British
are
accent.
British.
It sounds the
Tan
exact
Honey.
same.
I'm speaking posh.
No, it just
I
sounds
thought he
like
was.
you.
I got it, Tan. I understood that.
Dude,
It's because these other two, they don't understand anything. Listen, this is me talking normal. This is me
Dan,
talking pop.
if you ever heard Tan's family in the background, they sound infinitely more British than him. It's so funny. Like he's been tainted by
he's-
I
America.
think we're like affecting him with American. I think.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Contaminated.
I understood that this character was supposed to be like a posh British guy. Like I get it.
I also did. I did want to fuck with you though.
Oh,
'cause it was
I
funny.
legitimately didn't. I was the only one unable to tell.
I was
And
riffing off of Darnell to cause.
I mean, his
chaos,
name was
I'm
Micah
sorry.
Jag. I thought it was supposed to be a Michael Jackson reference or a Mick Jagger reference.
It's Mick Jagger reference, but this
Yeah.
guy's British.
Gotcha.
Well, I was previously part of MI6, and due to my extensive service record and exemplary performance, I was approached for some off-the-books dealings by members of an organisation that might, upon reflection, have been the Better Angels.
Upon reflection,
I-
you didn't even know their name till now?
I didn't know anything.
So you've been going through with this plan and acting like you knew something greater until but you actually didn't. That was just a front.
Absolutely. I wouldn't say I'm relatively innocent in all of this, you understand?
Okay,
Right.
you defended a wound project, buddy. Let's
So
chill
tell
out.
me why you left. When was it? Because you learned what they were up to?
I can see why you've been put on this mission. Your wits are sharp as a kitchen knife, my friend. That is indeed the case. I discovered the end game, let's say, of my mild associate's intentions. And I found this disagreeable, morally reprehensible even, and I had no choice but to terminate the relationship immediately.
So how did that end?
Yeah,
with you
well,
in a Kremlin prison?
if they kept you in the dark about all this stuff before, why did they suddenly let you know the plan now?
Well, you see, at the present time, Genesis is mustering all his resources to defend Mount Rushmore in preparation for the final date. And I was brought in, again, as a mild associate, barely even relevant, to assist in this.
Trust this guy at all. He's lying, right? Like, we all know he's lying.
Right. So my question is, like a Jag,
Absolutely.
how are they planning to do this? By what means are they going to unify consciousness?
I see. I expect this he sort of leans forward as much as his being tied to a ship will allow, which is sort of an awkward. He's trying to do a power move that doesn't quite work.
Aw.
Are you familiar with something called Skylab?
No.
It's a space station sent up by the United States, launched by NASA, back in '73.
And they really launched it? Because, that whole
Yeah.
moon landing stuff looked like a movie.
I look at that.
Nothing, never mind.
Yes, they
But
really
that's
launched
just-
it. In fact, I know
Okay.
I launched it because as part of the because Genesis told me that the Better Angels were involved with it.
Did he just say I as part of the Better Angels?
No?
I fucking love this guy. What the fuck? He's funny. He's a bad liar. That's how I know
okay,
he's at
so
my
This is
six
like
because he's
this
bad
is
at
like
his
the
job.
George Santos of JoJo villains.
Yeah. That's how you know he's on my six because he's not really good at intelligence.
Okay, so you got Skylab in the air, and now what?
Well, as I said, Genesis was involved in the construction of Skylab, and he made preparations that the outer hull was embedded with a very particular material. Are you familiar with something called a stand arrow?
Oh god damn it!
Unfortunately.
Well, to put it bluntly, the construction of Skylab, it's a space station designed for perfectly normal experiments in space, orbital workshops, an observation, that sort of thing. But that's all secondary to the true purpose, which is to effectively act as a colossal stand arrow when it is directed to plummet out of the heavens and into the morphogenetic field of the human race, as it will do in 6 days' time.
So basically, turn
okay.
everyone into stand users.
Not quite. It's going to turn everyone into one stand user.
Yeah, but my question is,
Oh, this
how
is
do
like a
you
Kenjaku-esque plan.
how do you know what the stand's going to be before the arrow makes contact? Because our understanding of it is that it's random.
Well, as I understand it, the nature of the stand itself is less important than its existence. Once the all of humanity has become a single stand user, they're locked in that pattern is the way it works from what I understand. So the 1 second of being connected will become an eternity, let's say.
So you're saying that by making contact between the field and the arrow, it doesn't really matter what the stand itself does. It's the act of bringing it together that makes it the.
All of humanity gets Cheap Trick on the back of the globe.
Precisely.
Yeah, that's what
As I
I'm
said, your
saying.
wits are sharp.
Well, what
I'm
happens
just
if
trying
the
to wrap
people
my
are
head
born
around
after
this.
this connection? They won't be a part of that.
I'm sure
I
preparations
imagine
were
the
made.
connection would spread to people who in the womb, but given that
Right, but like,
family members are able to.
Let's say people have a kid though, right? Like the JoJo's, they have separate stands. Like after the fact.
I imagine the way they've set this up will transfer the stand to their offspring, sort of like a shared stand.
Yeah, I'd imagine that since it's hitting like a field, like the field permeates Earth, right? So by having the field have the stand, everything living on Earth would have the stand too.
So they're trying
Because
to.
like,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, that was out of character. I'm just trying
They're
to figure
trying
out
to
how this
crash
works.
the meteor in to act as the stand arrow, right?
The space station, yeah.
So if we launch like a space rocket at it, can we just divert it?
Where's your space rocket?
We can go to the Kennedy Center and we can
Hold
steal
on, I have to use the bathroom. Don't. I'm invested in this
All
stuff. You
right.
No,
guys
there
roll.
is.
So
Cutscene
I know
pause.
in JoJo that the Space Kennedy Center, whatever the fuck it's called, is important. We can go there. We can steal a rocket, launch it, save the world. Right?
Do you know how to launch a rocket?
No, but we can steal some people, figure it out, use our connections. We're intelligence officers, goddammit.
This remains to be seen.
I
have my doubts.
We have Nikolai. He could do it. We'll launch a Sputnik at it. But no, is that like not a plan, or do we have to kill these guys specifically to stop this?
Well, that's what we both discuss more once Dune returns.
I don't know. I'm team throw a rocket at it.
I mean, we might as well cause an international incident. Why not?
Also, if a rocket hits it, maybe it'll shatter into a bunch of stand arrows, which could be fun if this ever gets another part. And why there's so many arrows.
It shatters. It's like gets caught by like a little kid, and then he's like, "Did you find something over there, Dante?" And he's like, "Just a bit of metal."
That would be amazing, though, actually. You should do that. Oh, no, that's sad. Everything that's horrible in our timeline.
He goes back in time to pirate era.
One of them clicks into the moon, the Havoc moon.
That is the only one that's unrelated because that was an alien.
Yeah. True. Back to the pirate. I love how you called the 1700s the pirate era like it's One Piece. Just because we
Great
read
pirate era.
a high Seven Seas campaign.
I really
It
enjoy
basically
Tan's-
became One Piece JoJo.
It really was.
I really
loved
enjoy
it.
Tan's view of history, honestly.
Me too. Tan brings me joy every time we talk.
In my mind, the 1700s, like in the Caribbean, is a completely different time than like the 1700s in like America or UK.
Everybody's just
It's a
having
different
fun being a space
universe.
pirate.
I'll admit, sometimes it is hard to remember that cowboys in like the feudal Japan happened at the same time.
Yeah, it's
Exactly. That's just
freaky.
that's a different setting.
Yeah. Man, the world is crazy.
They weren't even really that far from each other.
God, I miss part 2 though sometimes. That was such a fun campaign. It really was like One Piece, the campaign.
Is there a One Piece tabletop?
There is probably. Almost positive.
Tane
Yeah, well,
would be. Tane would be. I've been saying this, but Tane would be such a good One Piece GM.
Oh man.
Soup.
I wouldn't do that to
fucking
him
soup
though,
guy.
because I know more than anything Tan would want to play in the One Piece campaign.
Yeah.
I would be
I'm
willing to
I'm
figure
back.
that out.
Fantastic.
What fruit has our conversation for?
We were
Devil
mostly
Fruit.
talking about part 2, which was like basically our One Piece campaign of JoJo, and then we talked about One Piece and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I think Tam would be a good One Piece GM.
That's what
I
Jack
agree.
just said as well, but I said I wouldn't do that to him because I know he'd want to play in the One Piece game.
Oh, that's true. We'd have to make AI Tam.
Yeah.
Tam GPT.
God, please
Tam
don't.
GPT to be the GM, and then Tam can actually play.
True. I can do.
We're wasting so much clean water just to play One Piece.
Anyway. Yes, Tan?
Absolutely. So, yes, for that, well, Mount Rushmore has a facility underneath it designed in the case of nuclear war to house the elite of the US, and as part of that, it has control over. So you just burr?
Sorry, continue.
I'm detailing the apocalypse to you.
Micah, Jack, just keep talking.
And as part of the facilities under, there is a control over all satellites launched by the US. So they will use that to initiate the launch of the massive arrow. Not good.
Not good at all. Okay, so, Micah, how do we stop it?
What? Am I your operations planner now? I'm tied to a chair. What do you mean? How do we? You stop him pressing the button, I presume,
Okay.
or you get rid of the satellite. I don't.
Why
I
does
don't
it?
know.
Why does it need to be in a week? He still said they had to wait.
The majority, if they fire it while the morphogenetic field is not complete, it won't get everyone.
But I thought the morphogenic field wasn't going to be complete for years. What changed that?
Well, for the last few years, our activities have been focused on accelerating that date, which we're through the wound development. I mean, apparently through the wound development.
Could we bring that?
What did wound development have to do with accelerating the field?
Each wound that appears warps that field slightly as we make more.
This field connects humanity, and considering wounds are made out of people's trauma, I assume there's some sort of connection there, right?
Could we
Exactly.
stop his plan by making the field coalesce and disperse sooner than he expected?
Theoretically, I suppose, but I don't know how you do it.
Create more wounds?
In 6 days?
Well, we did just cause a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, we've
so
already
probably go to
maybe
10 of
accidentally
people's
caused a
trauma.
few wounds to form. I'm thinking. We might have already done it. We won, guys. Should we roll to see how many people got wounds from this, Tan?
No.
Oh.
Tan, I totally missed it. Can you explain why the U.S. government is working with the Better Angels on this for use of Mount Rushmore?
Well, I presume that they do not know about the human, concentration project. Let's say.
But still, why would they agree to what are they offering the U.S. government?
Well, I understand they've offered victory in the war, the Cold War.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
That's
what
probably
they
all they
have
had to
that would
say.
assure that victory? Do they have like nuclear knowledge?
It doesn't matter. It's not going to happen anyways.
I guess, but
I'm sure as you've experienced better.
Once all of humanity is connected, there's not going to be a Cold War.
I presume
Right.
they've been told some version of the plan that involves this arrow magically striking down the Soviet Union.
Turning everyone in the Soviet Union into Americans.
Joe's is like, yes, this is the capitalism arrow. It will make everyone capitalist.
They're already ready for the arrow. They've survived the apocalypse once. All right.
And the other thing I want to know is what would life look like after this would happen?
I wouldn't be able to tell you that. I imagine the only person who would be the entity that would result. And this is not yet born.
So we would still have individual bodies, correct?
One mind, many bodies. I understand. Yes.
Okay, that's the. All right,
I
I
have
got
to
it.
tell you, Tan. I was already imagining Genesis looked like Kenjaku, but now, I mean, side eye.
Uzumaki.
All right, let's. So I guess we just gotta go to. We have you, Nikolai. Is anyone else in Hush going to be able to help us?
Our troops will be able to support any assaults that you need. And of course, infiltration will be able to secure information quickly, should it be required and feasible.
Wait a minute, though. If the morphinogenic field strikes, won't stand users be unaffected because we already have stands?
Well, it's quite possible, but I imagine you won't be allowed to live very long after that.
Yeah, you're
Once
right.
everyone else on the planet is against you.
But what if everyone on the planet just dies? What if the era rejects them?
Well, I would imagine that is a non-desirable outcome for you as well.
Yeah, we gotta stop this. All right, so we've got our Hush. We've got Micah. Are you actually gonna help, or are you? What do you got planned?
Well, I was planning to hide out and find some means of surviving the end, but if you're willing to offer me protection, I'm sure I can provide counsel.
I'm willing to let you be a coward if you teach my boy how to use the spin. And I jab a thumb back at Bats.
I'm sure I could manage something.
Cool.
Doesn't that take years of practice?
Bats is a quick learner.
Yeah,
There is a teaching technique. It's very deadly, but it may allow you to master it in 12 hours. No.
Bats can hit
That
him.
sort of shit. It's like, you might die, but...
Yeah, they give him the Lisa training.
Exactly.
Put him in the pit.
if there's any if it's any consolation, I have been able to tap into this rotational power before. When we were fighting one of the better angels
Yes,
allies.
one of those people.
Yeah, not you, obviously.
I don't even know them.
I was able to rotate a ball and launch it into the target, and as a result, channel the energy from that rotation to their entire the target's entire body, just from one, targeting, transfer it throughout the entire person, and it was a pretty big target too, a kaiju-sized target. If that
See,
rings
so
any
you
bells.
already have potential. Well, I'll tell you what, Nikolai, my good man. If you can secure me a facility with a certain physical dimensions, I'm sure I could set up some sort of training regiment, a very quick one, for our boy Bates here.
Bats.
Bats.
All right.
Like Detective Comics.
Well, first thing we have to do is take the first planar boat back because we're very limited on time. You can pick up your training once we're in. God, what state is fucking Rushmore in again?
I want to say Nevada. I don't think that's right.
What state?
That is 100% not right.
It's in South Dakota.
South Dakota. Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
Flyover states.
All right. Yeah, so we'll head to South Dakota. You'll start your training. We'll figure out everything we can about how to infiltrate. I mean, what if we just infiltrate before they're going to do the plan, and then we just destroy the button ahead of time? Because they can't press it early, right? So the earlier we raid, so to speak, the better we're going to be.
Well, it's a possibility, yes. In the end, it comes down to which of you kills the other, I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, it would be lame if I repeated the dead raid effect, and I don't think it would work as well in the better angels. They're pretty strong. Can you at least tell us about their powers? Anything you know about them?
I'm sure I could be persuaded.
Persuaded.
Well, these ropes are rather tight.
Oh my god, I hate you. I'm gonna untie his ropes.
Thank you. He's massaging his wrists. I'll put together dossiers on them. I should have them ready before we arrive back in America.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Look to the rest of the team. What do you guys think?
Well, if this is going to affect all of humanity, it's in his best interest to not die, so...
True.
Okay, so we're gonna fade to black once more as we head back to America then with your new comrades. Your both Nikolai the Hush troops and Micah Jag. And as we fade back into scene, you've been invited out to this remote sort of again an abandoned building basically, Bats, for where this training will apparently take place. Abandoned missile silo specifically.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, as you enter, you can see what's been set up here for you is this massive sphere, like elevated above the ground here, and it's basically just covered in oil. It seems like vegetable oil of some kinds.
Okay.
And Micah Jag is standing behind some hastily set up controls. Ah, you made it! Welcome, welcome.
Where'd you get this from?
Well, I took some resources, some metal work, but the Hush are quite adept at this sort of thing. It's a traditional design for spin training.
A spin, that's what it's called, right?
Oh, yes.
So
The rotational force of the universe. Quite
you
something.
guys are your own little community, kind of like stand users, huh?
Precisely.
Not as many of you, I'm assuming.
No, it's something that must be taught, not granted by a magic arrow.
So what am I doing here exactly? I don't understand what this whole spin thing is, to be honest.
Well,
All
you
I
are.
know is that if I rotate something, I can make it more powerful.
Well, that's the gist of it, but all things in some way stem from rotation. The spin is simply the means to manipulate that. You can do many things. There are many applications. It produces a unique form of energy, and that energy can then be invested into many different areas, biological or otherwise.
Destructive energy, or
Well, that's up to your inclinations, I would say.
sounds pretty complicated.
It spins and it makes power, and the power does things for you.
Right, okay.
At any rate, I
Right.
can explain it through words for weeks, but we don't have weeks. We barely have a day, I would say, and even then, that's a stretch. So that's why we've set up this, I'll say traditional, I would say archaic training method. So when I press this button, he sort of points at a big red button he's got, this sphere will begin spinning. The speed will increase and increase until it becomes intolerable for a human. Your job is to remain on the sphere no matter how fast it spins. You must move along with the rotation, you must learn to withstand it without being thrown off. And we'll repeat it until you master this, or you can no longer repeat it.
Yeah. All right. Sounds pretty simple.
I thought that was perhaps appropriate. Please, get on.
Bats, he elevates himself to the top of the spear using his balls.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, and he sort of jabs the red button, and the sphere begins to rotate. At first slowly, but even with the oil, even a slow spin is a bit slippery.
Right.
So we will begin. Please roll withstand, which is pluck and durability for a DC of 1 here.
Okay.
Is it? Did you roll it? Oh yeah, it's showing up for me now.
Yeah, 25.
20,
3
yes,
successes.
absolutely. So you managed to cling onto it and
4
stay. What are you
successes.
standing? Are you like clinging to it? How are you going to do this?
I'd imagine Bats has his knees like, in like a squatting position,
Yeah.
trying to gain the most like grip.
Okay. And the spin, the rotation increases until it's very fast. Like you have to like hold on to it at least a little bit here. So please roll withstand again with a DC of 2.
Okay.
You did it.
Yeah, I did it.
He did
Just
it.
barely. But,
The and the rotation increases once more until everything outside the sphere is like a blur, basically. Nausea is inevitable. If you have any means by which you're going to try and cling onto it, please describe it to me. Maybe you'll get an advantage in this next roll.
Okay. I think what Bats is going to try to do here is he's going to turn the bottom of his feet, like the bottom of his, like the ball of his foot, into a ball that he can manipulate, and he's going to have those two balls make contact with like the surface. And he's going to try like to slightly rotate them in the same like momentum as the giant spear.
Okay, so you're starting to get a feel for this rotation as spin. And
Right.
as you touch those balls against it, you can feel some of the rotation transfer over. So please do a withstand DC of 3 with advantage.
Okay. +1 or
No. Just advantage.
I don't think there's +1s in the system.
right.
So
right.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, you just about made it again. So you're
He's
swaying
so
on the...
he's so used to Tan like feeding him little scraps that he just assumes everything's a +1.
This
Yeah.
guy says this. And so you're sort of swaying on the spot, but you do manage to sort of stay on there. And the spin increases once again. This feels like the maximum setting at this point. The world outside this ball is completely incoherent. You can see like yellow electricity almost sparking around you, as well as the spin energy is like visible
Right.
from this point. And
I'm gonna try.
It's like actively trying to throw you off at this point. Almost, it feels like.
I'm gonna try also increasing the speed of the fan balls, like along with it, even though that might be, too much for me to handle.
Okay, so this is the final one here. This is a DC of 5. You have advantage. Please roll me your withstand.
Okay. No.
So you feel on the cusp of it, on the verge of understanding, and at that second you go flying off the ball and slam into the wall of the building.
I crack every bone in my body.
You crack something. And you do take a hit here. You healed previously though, so it's 2 out of 3 again.
Okay.
Well, you can try again, or you can give up. It's up to you, I suppose.
I try again.
Okay, so make the roll again as you by this point you can stay on until that max.
Hello?
To get myself a better advantage here.
Yeah.
But I can't really. Well,
If you can give me something amazing,
Okay.
you can maybe get a double advantage.
Bats is going to change his entire body into balls while still maintaining the same mass and shape of his.
You're becoming the
actual form.
spin.
Yes,
Oh,
he's
that's
going to
cool.
literally become balls all the way through, and the ones on the bottom that are making contact with the top of the ball aren't just going to rotate. The entire body of balls is going to rotate and build up that energy.
That's
Everything is
nuts.
balls. It's balls all the way down.
Yeah, I see.
Wait, actually, I just realized Bats being able to do that could be like the most insane spin user of all time.
Right.
Okay, so this final one then.
Yeah.
Did he have double
As you
advantage?
changed, you can have double advantage, and because you're doing this entirely different method of doing it, I'm going to say that's going to be an amaze at this point. You're going to amaze me. That's menacing and precision.
double
with double
advantage
advantage.
means-
I rolled already. I'll roll again.
Double advantage.
Oh,
means-
actually, well, you've done it. Actually, you've done it. Never mind.
Yeah, 3 and
Okay.
up, because that'd be all
I was gonna
successes.
say.
Yeah. So there is a moment of transcendence. That as 1 second you are a person standing atop this spinning death trap, and the next you are the spin, you are the rotation, you are the movement of the fucking cosmos.
Right. Okay.
And it's not that you're spinning a lot. It's not that you're remaining on the spinning sphere. You are the spin. You are the sphere. You are the hurricane.
And I
And,
think too.
It's like you suddenly remembered how to ride a bike.
Oh my god. And I think to really seal this home, Bats is going to aim a single ball at the spear itself. He's going to launch one of those balls from the rotation into the giant spear and see what happens.
As you do that, the spin suddenly stops, and you stop as well on a dime, and a long, thin seam like manifests in the center of the spear, and it splits in half.
Wow.
That was barely 20 fucking minutes. Took me weeks.
Did I do good?
You did very good.
It probably comes with the territory, Bat says as he spins one of the balls on his finger.
Perhaps you've been doing it longer than you realize. And as you are sort of experiencing your success, maybe Chelsea and Jack and a driver arrive from.
Perhaps you've been doing it longer than you realize, and it flashes to him as a kid twisting up his spaghetti.
We've had. I mean,
This is our family's famous method of spinning spaghetti.
There's a certain art to it, Bats.
We call it the turn. He just didn't react. It was called something slightly different.
So stupid. I love it. Yeah. So we see like the split metal sphere, right?
Yeah.
So, did it go well?
It went bloody amazing.
Well, see, I told you. My guy here's a star. And are you still in balls form, Bats?
No, he has come back to.
And as you have come back, Bats, if you look at your hand, you'll notice that your fingerprints have changed. Like they're just like perfect spirals now.
Spirals, yeah.
Oh, fuck. I put a hand on his shoulder, shake him. That's our boy. He can do anything he puts his mind to.
My blood flow is like spiraling, and like I have like the One Piece Sanji eyebrow. The natural curve of my hair has been altered slightly.
Yeah, it's a perfect little spiral on the tip.
Right.
All right. So, will you be ready in time for the invasion?
Oh yeah, I think I'm ready. In fact, and Bat says as he generates a single ball and rotates it and launches it into the wall of the facility. I think I have a ball just for Genesis right here.
All right. I'll try and get in contact with Vasilii, bring him back, and then we'll get this party started.
Right, and as the sun sets on this another day, we've come. So that was 6 days when you were in Russia. It took another day to get back. So there's 4 days left, and it looks like this may be the final day before your final battle, maybe even.
Ooh. Are we about to end Good Trouble?
Well, I'm going to say it may. What I'm thinking is there's going to be this final battle if you do decide to do it now, and then maybe an epilogue to like tie off loose ends.
Oh wow!
Well, that final battle may be more than one session. I was going to say.
I am surprised. I was expecting this to be multiple kinds of missions and last over years, but I do kind of like the way it's all tied together.
Yeah, we might as well like. If we don't end Good Trouble soon, we're not going to end it at all.
True. All right. That was a really good time, though. I think that's the best we've ever done after coming back from a hiatus. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah. I wanted to speak, like, because I knew this was in the last couple. I want to do it strong. I want to be strong.
You are strong. Stand proud.
We're very strong.
And also, everybody, like, not trying to farm your comments, but if we can all give Dune some thanks for showing up sick and being a good sport and helping us out so we can keep going. He's literally
I feel like I'm literally dying.
He literally will get the purple.
He gave everything he had for Good Trouble.
Yeah.
I feel like I have strep throat. To be honest,
probably go to the doctor and get antibiotics.
Now that you've recovered slightly, so maybe that spin trend.
If you actually have strep throat, Dune, and you've been talking this whole time, you literally deserve a medal because strep throat's like burning hot needles.
Yeah, I've had it before. It's just it felt worse in the beginning of the week than it did now, but I've been going a week with like my throat killing me. So
it's been hard, hasn't it? Get some antibiotics, go see the doctor,
terrible.
See what's going on.
Oh, it's so much effort, Darnell.
Oh, it's so much effort to not die.
Oh, it's so hard.
It is, but you're going to do it anyway. I mean, you've survived Good Trouble. Surely you can survive a doctor visit.
That's true.
You just learned the spin.
Yeah, you just learned
I
the spin,
did just
you can
learn
do
this spin
anything.
in record time. I could do whatever I
Oh,
I
put my mind
want.
to.
All
I could do whatever I put my mind to.
right. Um, I'm not like criticizing anyone or anything. I just think it's funny. On
Okay.
literally the day that Dune spent 1 point to get the spin, I said this is gonna turn into Dune mastering the spin, isn't it? And Dune was like, "No, yeah, it wouldn't make sense if you did that."
But you went
Hey, now.
It's
be
the end
fair,
of the
we didn't have a-
campaign. Let him have
We
it.
didn't have a giant. We didn't have a giant metal ball.
We also didn't have the guy who's the spin user of the campaign.
Yeah.
To
It
be
wouldn't have
like,
made sense if there wasn't a mentor,
yeah.
but now there is. So.
I say it's the
Maybe
end
I'm
of the
just
campaign.
all I'm saying is that you got a lot of mileage out of that 1 point you
I
spent.
did.
I got half of that with 3
The
points.
system is falling apart at the seams. Okay.
To be
Jack,
fair,
we
it helps that
haven't
his
seen it in
power is
combat
I
yet.
am balls. Like I am
Right.
legend.
We also haven't seen it in combat yet. It might be terrible.
Yeah,
it might just go horribly
yeah, he can do
wrong
it. He can
for
do
him.
it just fine when he's like in a still like constant training zone, but like in the heat of battle, maybe it'll fail.
Maybe all my rolls will just have like the opposite effect, and they all fail.
Imagine if it's like God Electro, where like your balls get separated, and because you're part of the spin now, you just dissipate.
Yeah, at the end of the
Oh,
campaign, we're
no.
like, we did it, and like Dune starts floating
It's on
away,
me.
and we're like, Bats, where are you
I'm sorry,
going?
I have to go to the spin realm. I can't remain here anymore.
You
He's
see, you see
disappearing
my
into the
sil-
spin force.
You see my silhouette in the sky.
I mean, once he's experienced being one with the spin, like I imagine, like grounded life as a normal human is like misery now.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching Good Trouble, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.